Obviously, in any kind of mine, you can't be afraid of the dark because it's
Oh no, yeah,
it
they
is
get
pitch
dark.
dark
Yeah.
in there.
My dad was always a catfishing. They used to catfish back in the days. And that was back in the days when there was a lot more water
What are
around.
you gonna do with that? He's like, I'm gonna take him home and eat him. I'm like, that's a gopher snake. I'm like, that's okay. I was
Whatever.
Like, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it home and he cooked it. He threw it on the grill and it was so tough.
Figure out how I can share it aside from the videos and stuff, which I've enjoyed. And
Welcome to Two Side Outdoors. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. So, I know it's been kind of a while since I did another one. I think the last one was about a little over a month ago. But today I got a special guest. Where do I begin? He's all over the place, really. Does a lot of different fishing tournaments around here. But yeah, let's go ahead and introduce Miguel. Go ahead and say hi.
hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah, so kind of tell me a little bit about yourself, because all I know is that basically you do a lot of tournaments around here, whether they're local or even like a little bit farther in the state.
Yeah, I just started fishing again in June. I was in the military for a long time, and my kids were growing up, and having kids, they all play sports and stuff, so I never really got to fish a whole lot. So I just got back into fishing in June, and I started fishing tournaments and stuff again like that. And I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan, so it's a big fishing state with all the Great Lakes.
Exactly, yeah.
And so yeah, that's a little bit about me.
So I guess tell me a little about like how, like the whole your tournament successes currently, I guess you can say.
Right now, I would say I need to continue to improve. Like I said, I've been out of it for a while. I've had some good days. I've had some bad days. I finished as high as fourth, and I finished as low as last. So, fishing the tournaments is just some way for me to get out there and a competitive level, because I've always been competitive all my life with playing sports and stuff like that. So it keeps that competitive edge in me going. And you never know what the other person's gonna pull out or what. So this past weekend we went to, I fished in the ABA tournament, American Bass Association tournament, and big bass. Man, it was an 8.52 big bass, and let me tell you, that thing was a beauty.
Nice. No, yeah, it's like the only tournaments I've done around here are just like some of the catfish tournaments. I've never done any bass tournaments or anything like that. I don't even really fish for bass that often. I've been kind of targeting them a little bit more lately. It's like my biggest, I didn't even weigh it recently, and it was it looked like probably maybe 1 to 2 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of them that size. I've been catching a lot of them, from the bank, from the shore. I've been catching a lot of them from the boat. I do, I don't have a big, nice bass boat, but I do have a little John boat that gets me out there and lets me fish, some areas that you can't reach from shore. I've been catching a lot of them in between 3 to 4 pounds, and so just working to get those bigger ones.
No, yeah, I seen like you posted a thing just the other day that like I guess you were fishing in the wind or something like that, and then your trolling motor popped off.
Yeah, I lost my trolling motor, and I had a good time getting back. It was a fun time getting back to the shore, so I could get my boat up on the back of the truck. But we got it back up, and I just keep grinding. That's just the way I am. I just keep grinding in everything I do. So.
No, yeah, it's like I seen that and I was just like, oh damn, that kind of sucks. But at least you got it. I heard you repaired it and whatnot too, though, right?
Yeah, I repaired it in one night. I was thinking about taking the tournament off this past weekend. Then my brother-in-law hit me up and was like, hey, let's go fishing tomorrow. I was like, well, if we're gonna go fishing, let's just go ahead and do the tournament. So I stayed up late, repaired the boat, and got it back out on the water. And we fished the tournament on Saturday, and we ended up in 15th place. So.
It happens.
Well, it's just hard to compete when you're on a little John boat with just a trolling motor, and everybody else around you got Rangers, Nitros, and Bass Trackers.
Yeah, true. No, yeah, I just actually picked myself up a 14-foot John boat with one of those longtail motors.
Yeah.
So I hope to be out there on the water pretty soon too, for hunting for those catfish at least.
Yes, sir.
What are some of your favorite like fishing gear brands that you recommend?
Me personally, the Taipan rods is my favorite rods, and I like to pair them with the luge reels. Basically any type of luge reels, depending on what you're fishing with. Um, but those are my two favorite things to fish with is the Taipan rods, whether it's the flipping rod or the crankbait rods or the swim bait rods. You know, you can get them all. And they're probably the best rods I've ever used.
I don't think I've ever used a Taipan because I have. What do I have? I think it's like a Bill Dance Quantum or something like that.
Okay, yeah, I mean, those are pretty good. Anything with Bill Dance on it, is good.
Yeah, it was a decent little bass bait caster that a friend of mine actually gave to me because he was like, "Yeah, I don't use it anymore. Here, take it."
Yeah, but the Taipans, they're built local right here in Yuma. So I try to support local. So using those rods and stuff is really good. And a lot of people here like them. So
That's what I hear though too. Yeah. Another thing. So I guess it's one of those controversial things. A lot of people, they, whenever catching bass and stuff, I know a lot of people like to just toss them back. Do you prefer, like, say, if they're a certain size, keep them or toss them back?
I prefer to toss them back. I really don't keep a whole lot of largemouth or smallmouth bass. I do keep striper bass, but I don't keep much of anything else.
And see, that's one other thing that I've been trying to target though lately too is this dang striped bass. I haven't been able to hook one up lately.
Yeah, no, there's different places around that you can catch them. You know, most of mine I just catch them on the Colorado River. Go out to Fisher's Landing, get out on the river, go up and down the river, and catch them out there.
Nice. No, I've heard like there's some like close by like some of the dams and stuff, or
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you could catch them at like the Laguna Dam too, down by Mitri. No, the Laguna Dam there. Betty's Kitchen has them. Everything like that. So yeah, man, just different places. But stripers are fun. I think this past weekend when we was fishing the ABA tournament, my brother-in-law he ended up catching a 6-pound striper, and it swallowed the lure so bad that he had to rip it out of his throat, and he ended up dying. So we just took him home.
yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
So, what are? Do you have any like crazy fishing stories?
I could tell you one that just happened to me. I was fishing on the Gravity, and I was fishing close to the bank because there's a lot of weeds and stuff, so it's hard to fish on the Gravity.
Mm-hmm.
And I just slipped down into the water tonight, and it's cold as heck. It's 57 degrees out, and that water felt like it was like 25. It felt like I was taking an ice bath.
Oh, jeez.
So that's one of my, and that just happened to me right now as I was headed about ready to leave to go home. Slipped right off the edge there as I was reeling in a fish and fell right into the water.
Oh man, I bet like how you said that water is ice.
Yeah, it was super cold. Yeah. I'm hoping I don't get hypothermia by the time I get home.
I sure hope you don't either, because yeah, that's not fun. I've been in some ice water before during the summer though, just because of areas that I've gone to that the water is all ice melt, so it's cold water like that too. So what are? Because I know you use a lot of everyone's like local baits and stuff. Which one is like some of your most favorites? I guess you can say.
Oh man, I like them all. Tonight I was using the jigs from Bordertown bait. I caught me a 1.12 pound smallie. The other day I was using some baits, some CNC baits from Coral Beach. Um, I caught a big bass on that in the tournament, almost a 4 pounder, 3.98. Pete Rodents, I got a lot of his baits. I actually just picked one up from him tonight. Um, the Bass Bully Boppers, I got some of those. Lloyd Lures, I got some of his. I mean, all these guys make terrific baits. I wouldn't say I like any more than the other. It just depends on, what I'm targeting that day and what I think they're going to hit on that day. And then I just put that on for that occasion and hopefully land something on them. So
That's cool.
But-
No, yeah, I've tried Carl's Lures, CNC baits. I have a couple of those. I have some of Lloyd's as well. I need to get myself some of Pete Rodents, Reckless Rodents. I want to get one of those local critters.
those local critters are great. I've used them and I've got some bites on them and hits on them. I just haven't officially landed anything on them, but they do work. They do catch some big bass. So
That's cool. Do you think Yuma area waters and stuff have some of the best fishing waters?
I think they do. I mean, they're a lot better than some of the northern states. I mean, of course, they're probably not as good as Florida or Texas, Oklahoma, or California. But I would put them up there with outside of those 4 states, I put them out there with some of the best fishing waters there is. So
See, I hear that same thing even for, like, say, catfish too. Surprisingly, the flatheads out here are pretty large for this area, since this is one of the, I think, the southwestern areas. I think that only holds them, really.
yeah.
So, what made you get into fishing? Since basically it was
Fishing is something that I've done all my life. Like I said, growing up, I was in Michigan and Kentucky. In Kentucky, we had a pond right down the street. Down the driveway from our house. We lived on a farm. We had all different types of animals and stuff. So we had a pond that was down the street. A walking distance from our house. And me and my 3 brothers, we used to go fish that pond all the time and catch bass. And we just fell in love with it. I think I'm the only one that really fishes a lot anymore, like tournaments and stuff like that. But we were all great fishermen growing up. We'd go out there, we'd catch them and see who could catch the most. We'd make bets with each other, see who catch the biggest and the best. And we would work into tobacco fields and make money for ourselves. And then we'd go out on the weekend. We'd be like, all right, we're going to go fishing. Whoever catches the biggest fish gets all the money. And then we put our money in and we basically bet with ourselves and stuff like that. And within just me and my 3 brothers, So it was always fun growing up with them.
Well, yeah, that sounds like fun. Just kind of your own little competition between each other.
Yes, sir.
So, I guess, what are some of your future plans for, like, you getting more into the tournaments and stuff?
Okay, so I posted something on Facebook the other day called Limit Out Bass Series by Miguel Rivas Bass Fishing. So what this is it's going to be a bank anglers only tournament, and it's going to have 3 different regions. You're going to have your northern region, your southern region, and then Florida and Texas are going to be their own region. And it's only bank fishing, and you're going to have to do it's kind of like the kayak series with the length tournaments. It's going to be a length tournament from the bank, and it's only for bank fishermen. So all those guys out there that like to compete in tournaments, but they don't have a boat, they don't have a kayak, this will allow them to compete in tournaments and be able to, experience tournament fishing and work their way up into, maybe a kayak or a boat or something like that in the future. We will charge a $5 membership fee for anybody that fishes in our tournament. We'll have tournaments in February, March, April, May, June, and July. The top 3 in those tournaments, the top 3 people, first, second, and third place, will advance to our championship in August, where we'll give out we'll give out a trophy, and we'll give out some baits that we collect from sponsors and donors throughout the time that we're doing this tournament.
That sounds pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah, and it's gonna be on Fishing Chaos, the Fishing Chaos app.
Hmm.
And everybody will be able to go out there and just register on the Fishing Chaos app. And we hope it's a good time for everybody and everybody enjoys it.
Yeah, that definitely does sound like a lot of fun for like say like this area for to actually have more of a tournament out here because I think like some of the only ones that they do out here are like isn't it like a Copper State one that like you can fish a lot of the waters out here.
Yeah, they got the Copper State Bank Anglers tournament, but really it's only for Arizona.
Hmm.
And so what I did is take it a little bit further and made a bank tournament for basically every state. It's broke down into regions, and you'll be able to go on the Fishing Chaos app in a couple of days and see it. We're just finishing up the details of it.
That's pretty cool. I like that a
Um,
lot.
and so that's one of my goals is to get that up and running, and then the other goal is hopefully by 2026 to have a bass tracker or nitro bass boat to go fish the MLF tour.
No, yeah, that'd be something else that Major League Fishing.
I actually was invited to be a co-angler with somebody. He's from Texas, and he invited me to be a co-angler in all the series. But it takes a lot of money and time off work and stuff like that to be able to do that. And I'm not at that spot right now. So
No.
I still got to work on getting more sponsors and stuff like that to be able to take off work and be able to go fish those type of tournaments.
No, yeah, all the traveling and stuff for those, it's hard to do. Have you ever looked into that? There's one. It's kind of like a paid sponsorship, more or less. You pay into them a little bit, and then they reimburse you. The Sponsor Buzz. Have you looked at them?
I have not.
Yeah, Sponsor Buzz. Because I have that right now. It's $14 a month that you pay them, but you can purchase stuff and they'll reimburse you.
Oh, I'll have to look into that.
So it's like I've gotten some fishing rods from them basically that I bought them, I send them everything, and then they reimburse me for those rods.
Oh, that's nice.
And then so I just have to like make like little videos here and there for them, basically saying, hey, check out these rods. Basically, they're from Whisker Seeker or from whatever, and then they basically just reimburse you for whatever it is how much it is.
Yeah, that's good. No, we've been hitting up businesses and hitting up bait dealers, and trying to get sponsorships that way. And I've been able to get a couple sponsorships. Super's junk removal business in Yuma, they sponsored me to be able to fish the tournaments that I've been fishing. So I want to say thank you to him for his sponsorship. And then I just picked up another sponsorship from All Around Bait, Bass, All Around Bass and Fishing Company.
Mm-hmm.
He just gave me $250 worth of lures for a sponsorship. So I want to say thanks to him. That's Tim Dine. And then also want to say thanks to Aaron Miller and Rebel Lures for their sponsorship as well.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's just all the different sponsors that you've been getting. I've seen that, and it's pretty awesome. I know, like, say, fishing from bank versus boat. Boat's usually the better way to go, and probably, I guess, more fun. You have more access to different areas, I would believe. So what I'm trying to get at, I guess, is shore fishing or from a boat. What are your, I guess?
Oh man, I guess there's challenges to both. On the boat, you got to really, you got to be able to find them just like you do on shore. Of course, with boat, you got more access, so it's not as, I feel like it's not as challenging. But that's one of the reasons I came up with the limit out bass series. Bank fishing is because I enjoy bank fishing, and I never want to stop bank fishing. I think bank fishing is just different. because you don't have all the electronics to help you go out there and catch those fish. All these guys that fishes these tournaments nowadays, they all got these forward-facing sonars and
Oh,
side-to-side
the live
imaging,
scoping and whatnot.
the live scoping and all that stuff. And I mean, it just makes it a lot easier to catch fish. That's why when I fish these tournaments, I don't have any of that at the moment. One day I hope to have that stuff, on my boat so I can compete in these bigger, better tournaments and stuff like that. But, in the meantime, I like the challenge of trying to find the fish without those imaging.
No, yeah, it's like basically you have to visually see like what you can, I guess, from the bank and whatnot. Like, say if you can see some sort of structure and areas and stuff, and make sure to fish around the structure to pull fish out from there, or just certain things of being able to cast along I guess like the bank sides where there's like toolies and stuff to where you can basically pull fish out of there.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. This weekend we was at Martinez Lake and we was fishing, and we was trying to get out far enough to the structures where we could, pull one in, and I was able to catch a 2.25 largemouth bass off the structures there, just fishing around. I had my daughter with me. A lot of people, I don't know if everybody saw the picture of her catching her big 4-pound personal best, but there was a video out on my Facebook page that shows her catching that fish. And now that they have the ladies fishing series, who knows? Maybe she'll be one of those to fish that series. So
that's cool. That's cool. Trying to think of what else. We've already gone through like most of my notes and stuff that I had.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of great fishermen here in Yuma, and I would encourage some of these guys to get out there and fish some of those bigger, better tournaments, because I think they could do a lot of good things and put their name on the map and put Yuma on the map. So we'll see if I can encourage them to get out there and fish some bigger, better tournaments.
No, yeah, it's like I've seen I've had Sean. I know Sean's gone out fishing with you a few times.
Sean Collison, yeah, he's a new guy learning the bass fish. He's a catfish guy turning into a bass fisherman. But you got guys like Joseph Williams. I mean, he's a great. I've been out with him. Me and him fished a tournament together not long ago. We got 4th place in that tournament at Fisher's Landing.
Oh, nice.
He comes in the top 5 or 6 pretty much every time he fishes local tournaments. He just fished the Slaunch Masters Classic with me. Me and him fished that as opponents. We wasn't teams. We were opponents, and he got 1st place overall, 2nd place big fish, and then I got 7th place overall and 4th place big fish. So that was another tournament that we fished put on by Ben Milliken Fishing. That's also on the Fishing Chaos app. If you haven't downloaded that app, that's a great app. They have catfish tournaments on there and stuff too. It's called Fishing Chaos. It's an app.
I gotta check that out.
On your smartphone, and it's a great. I mean, there's all kinds of different tournaments on there. There's tournaments on there for just women. There's tournaments on there for catfishing. There's tournament on there for pretty much anything you want to do.
Yeah, I definitely got to check that out, because I do want to do a little bit more tournaments, other than just the catfishing tournaments that Joseph Lugo throws every now and then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, it's like I want to try and target bass a little bit more. They're more of a challenging fish compared to catfish. Catfish it's easy, more or less.
Yeah, you just go out there and
kind of just soak a bait and that's it.
Yeah. So.
That's all I got. Unless you want to just talk about something else, really.
Not really. I just got home. I got to get out of these wet clothes. Like I said, my story, I fell in the water tonight, so, no, I mean, that's it. I would just, tell everybody to go out there and check out Limit Out Bass Series by Miguel Rivas Bass Fishing. Follow me on Facebook, Miguel Rivas Bass Fishing, and, see how far I can make it.
Cool. Any other shout outs that you have to other companies and stuff?
Yeah, I give a shout out to all my sponsors, Pete Rodents at Reckless Rodents, He's not really a sponsor, but I'm promoting his business because he does so much good for the community. You know, giving out baits and dropping his his local critters. He'll drop them in the areas and tell people to go find them. And he's just an awesome dude. So I want to give a shout out to him. I want to give a shout out to all of our local bait makers: Joseph Williams with Bordertown Baits, Carl Beach with
CNC
CNC
baits.
Baits, um, Lloyd Lures with Lloyd Lures, and I think that's it. And then the Bass Bully with the Bass Bully Poppers. And then I want to say big shout out to all my sponsors. Um, you know, all around bass fishing, Rebel Lures, and the Supers junk removal business.
Cool. I have a couple shout outs as well. So I have one. I don't know if you've heard of the brand Fishy AF.
Nope, never heard of them.
Never heard of them? Yeah, so they're a fishing clothing brand that basically they have their own little challenges and stuff to be a brand ambassador with them. Where basically you have to wear some piece of clothing that they have and take a picture with the fish, and basically you catch 5 different species, you get awarded a pin, and then you become one of their brand ambassadors, and basically it just keeps on going up from there. It goes from like 5, 10 to I think like 25 and keeps going up in certain increments.
Yeah.
Currently I
Okay,
am
yeah, I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, currently I'm 1 fish away from my 10 species to get the next pin, basically. So give it a shout out to Fishy AF with their gear, and then also there's a code that I have for them. It's 2side10, or I believe it's not 2side10. It's just 2side. That basically gets you 15% off any new product or any products that they have.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, other than that, I guess we're done. So we'll see you guys next time. Tight lines. Let me do my little outro.